And to present our final award of the evening, I want to shift your attention back to the George B. Fell Lifetime Achievement Award. As previously mentioned, this award is the association's highest, and it is reserved for exceptional achievement to the protection of ecologically significant landscapes. Our next recipient is known for their fierce efforts to protect Wisconsin's natural areas. The recipient of the 2022 George B. Fell Lifetime Achievement Award is Thomas Meyer. Thomas Meyer will celebrate his 39th work anniversary in 2023, starting from a humble beginning in 1984 as a graduate student intern in the newly created Natural Heritage Program in the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. He secured a permanent position with the Heritage Program as the data manager and assistant botanist, and in 1994 joined the DNR's State Natural Areas Program. Thomas was instrumental in developing the Wisconsin SNA program into one of the country's largest, growing 274 sites and 120,000 acres in 1994 into 692 sites and more than 400,000 acres today. Throughout his long career, colleagues have praised Thomas as the unsung heart of the Wisconsin State Natural Areas program. Here are some additional highlights from Thomas's life's work. Thomas has led policy development for the Wisconsin State Natural Areas Program and served as the program liaison with the Natural Areas Preservation Council, which advises the Department of Natural Resources and formulates policies to select, acquire, manage, and preserve natural areas. Thomas has led efforts to secure the long-term protection of state natural areas through developing and implementing governor-approved Articles of Dedication, Wisconsin's strongest form of land protection. To date, no dedicated lands have been withdrawn from the SNA system. Thomas has played a central role in awarding significant state and federal grant funds to nonprofit partners who own and manage many Wisconsin state natural areas, and his designed prioritization criteria for grant applications through Wisconsin's Knowles-Nelson Stewardship Grant Program evaluated more than 350 land purchases, he visited most of those sites, and often administered federal matching funds to help DNR's partner organizations preserve more than 24,000 acres in 28 years. Thomas has been a significant contributor to public television documentaries highlighting the importance and beauty of state natural areas. He worked with PBS Wisconsin on Wisconsin Scenic Treasures, Southern Vistas, which received a 2021 Midwest Emmy Award for Outstanding Achievement for Cultural Documentary Programs. Thomas understands that building public support for SNA programs means that the public must learn about, view, and get to experience these properties along with the various plants and animals that they support. Thomas has been one of the primary outreach advocates for the SNA program in Wisconsin. His outreach efforts have been vital to the public's awareness and willingness to donate to the SNA program. To further emphasize his actions, Thomas was the editor, sole photographer, and co-author of the popular SNA guidebook Wisconsin, Naturally, published in 2003, which helped connect people to these important places. Thomas has served two different times on the board of directors of the Natural Areas Association and hosted our 2003 Natural Areas Conference in Madison. And he's unable to join us this evening, but he did share a video with us to accept this honor.
Hello to my friends and colleagues there on the shores of Lake Superior in Duluth. I hope this year's Natural Areas Conference is full of learning and fellowship. Since joining the association back in 1984, I tried to attend as many Natural Areas conferences as I could because I always came away re-energized and hopeful. I'm sorry I can't be there with you today, but instead, I'm here with my grandson, Reese. We're going to take a little walk through one of my favorite places, Germain Hemlock's State Natural Area. This is an old-growth mesic hardwood stand not far from where Reese lives in Rhinelander. Come on along. What an honor to be chosen to receive this year's George Fell Award. I'm truly humbled. You've probably heard the saying, If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. It was made famous by Sir Isaac Newton, and I think it's a metaphor that simply means we make progress by building on the work of those who came before us. Although I've spent my career working to protect natural areas here in Wisconsin, the heavy lifting was really done long before I arrived. Our SNA program was created by the legislature in 1951, making it the oldest statewide protection program in the nation. The conservationists of that time conceived of and built an ark that holds the best of Wisconsin's ecosystems. Our natural areas program was mature and was well on course when I joined the team. I merely placed a light hand on the wheel at times, helping to steer through calm seas and the occasional rough water along the way. As a fourth-generation Wisconsinite, I like connections to the past. My faith in the natural areas field was bound early on to one of those giants on whose shoulders I stand. He's my friend, a mentor, and a namesake of this place. His name's Cliff Germain. Cliff was hired as Wisconsin's first SNA program director back in the mid-1960s. He, along with George Fell in Illinois, was a driving force behind the creation of the Natural Areas Association in 1978. That's Cliff on the left, with George Fell standing next to him at Chewauquee Prairie State Natural Area in 1966. And here's a picture of me and Cliff at the Spring Green Preserve SNA in 2019, 53 years later. In 1987, NAA honored Cliff with its very first George Fell Award. Receiving the same award 35 years after Cliff, well, it makes it all the more special. By the way, Cliff's still hanging in there. He's living in his own home. Next year, he'll celebrate his 100th birthday. I'm proud of what Wisconsin's SNA program has accomplished over the past 71 years and the 30 years that I've been a part of it. We've grown the program to one of the largest and most successful in the nation, with nearly 700 sites protecting more than 400,000 acres of land, from old-growth forests to prairies to wetlands and lakes, and everything in between. It's important to know that ours is a partnership program between the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, and more than 50 collaborators, including federal agencies like the U.S. Forest Service, other state agencies, and the University of Wisconsin, and our land trust community, including the Nature Conservancy. Thanks to all of them for making our program a success. Although I'm proud of the natural areas I've helped protect, my greatest professional joy and satisfaction has been sharing the wonder of these special places with others. I've really been fortunate to have been able to unleash my creative side through photography and writing, and by working with PBS Wisconsin and the Wisconsin Natural Resources magazine to bring natural areas to the people of Wisconsin. One of the very, very best perks of my job is leading field trips to places like this, Germain Hemlocks, for the Natural Resources Foundation. There, I can interact one-on-one with people and have them hold nature in their hands. Although this year's Fell Award has my name on it, everything I've done to promote natural areas was part of a small, tight-knit SNA team. Thanks to my now retired colleagues, Randy Hoffman, Mark Martin, Paul Matthew, and to my current teammates, Dawn Heinbaugh, Dave Sample, and Matt Syme. We work well together, and it shows. Lastly, no one can pursue a labor of love for 3 decades without support from family. To my sons, Aaron and Ben, and to my wife, Mary, my wife and partner of 40 years, thanks to you. So although we may stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, I think we do so for those who come after us. Right, Reese?
Thomas couldn't be here this evening to accept his award, but his son Ben is here along with Reese.
I'll be brief. Thank you, Lisa. I am not Thomas Meyer, neither is he. And as a matter of fact, if you think either of us look old enough to have won a Lifetime Achievement Award, we've got bigger problems. I want to make just a very brief mention of the reason my dad is not here tonight. He's in the state of Maine. He is on a bicycle. He is participating in something called the New England Parkinson's Ride, which raises money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. You see, my mom was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease about 5 or 6 years ago, and frankly, that cruel disease, its onset has been fairly quick for her. But throughout that entire time, my dad rather, has been her steadfast companion and her greatest supporter. And that's what he's doing this week. He's riding with her and with a family friend, and I'm proud to say that they've, in this year alone, have raised more than $13,000 for Parkinson's research. So that's where he is. So thank you. So my role here is simply as a messenger of thanks and a messenger of gratitude and a messenger of humility on behalf of our family and friends and on behalf of my father. So thank you very much.
And Ben was also the creator of that video, which was really pretty sweet. How about that? Thank you, Ben, so much.